like to call the meeting to order, the District of Chetwynd. Can we have the opening statement read, please?
As we gather today on the traditional territory of the Treaty 8 Nations to conduct the business of the District of Chetwynd, we do so knowing that we're privileged to serve the citizens of this community, and we shall endeavor to conduct our business in their best interests.
Okay, thank you. Prior to adoption of the agenda, is there any new business from council? Councillor Deck? Councillor Warwick?
Thank you. Just an update on the rodeo grounds lighting, please.
And any other? Mayor has one. Larry Neufeld, MLA South Peace, select. If there is no other business, adoption of the agenda.
Motion to adopt with the additions.
Second.
All those in favor? Carried. Minutes of the special regular council meeting held on September 9th, 2024.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Any errors or omissions? Staff? We're good? Okay, all those in favor? Carried. M2, minutes of the tax sale held on October 7th, 2024.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Any errors? Councillor Warwick?
Just question the date for the review process. It says all 2022 delinquent taxes have been paid. Is that correct? 2022? Thank you.
Any other questions on the tax sale minutes? If none, all those in favor? Carried. Staff, how are we doing with the delegation? Okay, while they're preparing that, let's go to reports, and we will, if council will vary the agenda. Can we do that? Can I have a motion to vary the agenda?
Motion to vary the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we will move on to reports. Any reports from council?
Actually, your worship would be bylaws on the agenda.
Okay. Let's do the reports and then we'll go to bylaws. Okay. It gives a little bit of time for staff. Okay, reports. Councillor Nelson?
So it feels like we haven't met in a while and a lot of things happened. Our mayor and council went down to UBCM in Vancouver. And for those of you who are not aware, it's the Union of British Columbia Municipalities. So basically every municipality in British Columbia converged on the waterfront in Vancouver. And so conference all day long, socials in the evening. We had the opportunity to meet with ministers, and we were asked which ministers do we want to speak with. And of course, the Honorable Adrian Dix was at the top of the list to speak about healthcare. And you know, we get like about a 15-minute sit down, and it just sounded really optimistic. He said that he's completely aware that he is emailed every time there's a diversion in Chetwynd. Despite the fact that it's not a good thing, the fact that he is aware, I think, is one step forward. And he said by the spring of 2025, we will have enough staff in our hospital. And I just it's been a lot of doom and gloom as everyone seemed to be working really hard to get enough staff happening. But so the minister told us, so I'm just going to tell the public and hopefully that we can take that optimism forward for spring of 2025. We did speak with the Honorable Ann Kang, who's a Minister of Municipal Affairs, and talked about the industrial cap rate, which does come up in meetings on the regular with the District of Chetwynd, and we have been working really hard to petition to have this cap rate removed so we can tax at a market rate that is reflective of all the other areas in the north, which we aren't able to do at this moment. But further optimism truly sounds like that ministry is working for Chetwynd and making moves slowly. And finally, the Minister of Forests, Honorable Bruce Rolston, did decline to meet with the District of Chetwynd, unfortunately, because we really have so much to speak about in terms of forestry and our NIFAC base, which again comes up. But I had the opportunity to speak with him directly, and he said he is retiring. And I think maybe that had something to do with the fact he didn't want to sit down and having big conversations about issues that we find really relevant. But I did say, sir, before you retire, can you please just reinstate our NIFAC base? And he kind of looked at me like he almost was just going to go sign some papers and do that. I'm not guaranteeing that's happening. But what I will say is I did make it crystal clear that moving that base to the middle of a prairie, while we centrally located amongst all these forests and all these neighboring communities who support our NIFAC and really want to see the initial attack right here in Chetwynd, I just made it so crystal clear that I hope that whoever is the new Minister of Forests is going to kind of get the message and that we will see that base reinstated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nelson. Any other reports? Okay, Mayor's report. I'd just like to state that the NIFAC, it's the Northern Initial Fire Attack Crew. And so that's what Councillor Nelson speaks of when we talk about NIFAC. So as the report previous to mine with UBCM attended a forum on the 16th of Monday. It was community to community held by First Nations Leadership Council. Some of the topics were truth and reconciliation and denialism. City of Vancouver, UNDRIP in 2022, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and City of Vancouver became the first interprovincial partners to implement UNDRIP at the local government level. We also heard topics of land use by Chief Watts from Shishelt First Nation, Chief Brandy Lauder of the Hiska-Seth First Nation, and the Mayor of Port Alberni, Sherry Minion. So these were very enlightening and educational discussions. The C2C keynote address speaker was Jody Wilson-Raybould. She touched on the topics of truth and reconciliation and the responsibility of local governments at a great level. Now that it's at a great level now in these times. She thanked the local leaders for their service to their respective communities. Jody's message was to move away from the silos we are in, and a quote from the 1980s by John Matthias, "Behold the turtle. He moves forward when he sticks his neck out." At this time, we must be willing to move forward in our position as mayor and council and stick our necks out to move forward. So it was very, very nice to hear Jody. We had the opportunity to listen to her in Fort St. John last year. So it was, it was here in the spring 2024. So it was very nice to hear her speak. At the UBCM conference with concerning the NIFAC Northern Initial Fire Attack Crew, our resolution was adopted and passed. So we put it through to the UBCM board. The meeting with Minister Kang which was very, I guess what Councillor Nelson had was, it was kind of kind of important, but she didn't give us our tax, satellite tax, which she was really, it was really promising when we did talk to her last year, and we're still in the situation we're in today. And not having a satellite tax to help us out with the tax base. And with Minister Dix, it was very interesting meeting. He gave us a very the message wasn't clear that he was going to help us out and how things were going to happen. The plan, he didn't have a plan. He gave us stats were very promising. The stats were, but he never had a clear message or a plan to solve the health crisis in BC. So you just got two opinions, two things that happened here in council, which makes a council. We have one from Councillor Nelson with her report, and mine speaking with, and listening to Minister Dix. Mine was of a different view. So that's how council and that's how everyone in the community has differences of opinion. On September 26th, we had our Little Prairie Community Forest annual general meeting. The board of directors hired a manager for the Little Prairie Community Forest to take on the day-to-day operations of the Little Prairie Forest. The manager is Derek Dick. And the board of directors are Kieran Broderick, Andy Carveth, Helen Waitman, and Jason Lee, and Justin Napoleon. The Little Prairie Board would like to have a legacy fund of $5 million in the bank. So a $17,000 dividend will be given to the stakeholders this year until they reach the $5 million mark. In the legacy fund, they will not continue to give dividends until that threshold is reached. So I will have a report on Healing the Land Conference at the Soto Cultural Building that was held on 7th to the 10th at our next meeting. And that's it for me. Staff, how are we doing? Oh, reports?
We're going to have to reschedule TC Energy. We're not sure where the problem is, if it's their end or our end, but there's something going.
So adoption to receive reports.
Motion to receive.
Second.
All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we will continue to the bylaws. Continue on with the meeting. B1, District of Chetwynd Permissive Tax Exemption Bylaw number 1177, 2024 requires adoption.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion on it? Any discussion on it? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, move on to 7. Item 7, discussion items. Discussion item 1, email from BC Natural Resource Forum dated September 19th, 2024. Read 2025 BC Natural Resource Forum registration is now open.
I'd like to motion that all members of council be authorized to attend the 2025 BC Natural Resources Forum in Prince George, British Columbia, January 14 through 16, 2025.
Any discussion on it? All those in favor? Carried. DI 2, email from BC Council of Forest Industries dated October 10th, 2024, 2025 Kofi Convention, save the date.
I'll make the recommendation that council authorize the mayor or alternate to attend the 2025 BC Council of Forest Industries Kofi Convention in Prince George, BC, April 2nd to the 4th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion on it? All those in favor? Carried. DI3, email from Soda First Nations dated October 17th, 2024, letter of support.
I'll make the motion that council provide a letter of support to Soda First Nations for its grant application to the Infrastructure of Canada Green and Inclusive Community Buildings Program for a new health and community service center.
Anyone second?
Second.
Bonnie? Okay. Councillor Hunt? Okay. Any discussion on it? All those in favor? Carried.
Your worship?
Yes.
I have a draft letter prepared. I will send it out to council and mayor directly after this meeting. If you could respond, if it meets your needs reasonably soon, because they've asked for the letter as quickly as we could provide it if it was approved by council.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, DI4, email from Councillor Hunt dated October 21st, 2024, Peace River Regional District, future considerations for Function 505 Chetwynd and Area E Scramble Vision and Function 510 Chetwynd TV. Councillor Hunt?
Yeah, I just wanted to address the discussions we've been having with the PRD and Chet TV and just what I wrote. Oh, I'm gonna turn on my mic. First, I'd like to address any social media inaccuracies regarding council and Chet TV. I can honestly say that all of council was concerned and no one supported the idea of dropping Chet TV. As the council liaison for Chet TV, I've come to learn the history of the station and admire the dedication of the team that works so diligently to keep Chetwynd and the surrounding areas up to date with accurate information and keeps our radio station and bingo going. I could talk a very long time explaining the history of Chet TV, how it originated in the 80s, and how watching movies in here, sorry, I lost my spot. And how originally in the 80s, Chetwynd watched movies on their TV with rabbit ears after someone actually drove up to a tower and put a VHS tape in a VCR and played movies that way. Or that Chet TV was one of the first in Canada to receive CRTC rights and certification to broadcast community radio. Prior to that, community radio and TV licenses did not exist, and all that we simply had was rebroadcasting. Or I can tell you that Chet TV in 2021 and 2022 donated over $200,000 to local not-for-profits because they had a surplus income from bingo and wanted to give back to the community. Unfortunately, bingo sales have plummeted since then, and Chet TV has recently had to make a request for support funding to keep its doors open, which is why we are here discussing this today. However, what we really need to discuss is the PRDD wanting to change the way that they support Chet TV. We need to make it clear that the District of Chetwynd will not take over this function, and instead we need to notify the PRDD that they need to begin the process of updating the function bylaw so that the Chetwynd Communications Society can continue to receive PRDD funding. When Dan Rose was from PRDD was here recently, he said that the bylaws were illegal in a way that they manage their funding, and instead of correcting things on their end to manage it better or more legally, the easier solution to them was to request the District of Chetwynd to take over. I'd like to clarify simply what he means by illegal, is where PRDD has organized, the way that they have organized their funds to come from, or where they have organized their funds to come from, that support Chet TV needs to be updated, or in their terms, modernized, in order to avoid tax conflicts. If the PRDD amended and updated their bylaws, the conflict would be resolved and the PRDD would continue to operate legally as Mr. Rose wishes, and there would be no further conflict to continue supporting Chet TV. So in order to stop any further conflicts and concerns for Chet TV, the District of Chetwynd Council and our wonderful surrounding community, I'm requesting that our council reject further discussions at this time to take over Chet TV and request that the PRD amend their bylaws to be able to continue efficiently and modernly supporting Chet TV. In that time, the District of Chetwynd can work cohesively with the PRD to make a plan to help keep Chet TV running. I also want to share with the community and urge them to consider playing bingo again with Chet TV. as something as simple as that can help keep our station doors open, and through them, they can help support other not-for-profits in the community. I also want to take the time to thank Marlon Villar Gomez for his continued support and dedication to the district and the community of Chetwynd. We are all lucky to work with him, partner with him, and learn from him. Thank you, Marlon, for your service to Chet TV and the community, and we wish you all the very best in your new position. So this is my draft resolution that the council redirects staff to directs staff to write the Peace River Regional District Board, advising them that council will take no further action on the Chet TV funding proposal until the Peace River Regional District Board updates their existing bylaws pertaining to function 505, Chetwynd and Area E, Scramble Vision, and function 510, Chetwynd TV.
We need a second on that to discuss. Okay. Discussion. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councillor Ward.
A great form of addressing them. I absolutely agree with everything you said in the letter, and it's nice to hear the facts laid out so clearly. And yeah, I see this as the direction to go.
And at, I agree, Councillor Hun. At the PRD level, I sit on as a director. We made a motion or a resolution to have the staff from the PRRD come meet with the Chetwynd Council, and we included Marlon's name or the society's name on it so that they would be aware of what's going on with the PRRD and Chetwynd. So it wasn't just council. It would be, we wanted to include the society too. Councillor Hunt?
I don't even think that's necessary. I think that we could just go forward with asking them to change their bylaws and leave it as that.
Yep, sounds good to me. Any more? Any more?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Madsen.
Councillor Hun, good job on all the research, and we do like to hear the facts, and I think our entire community was really disturbed to find out that what we all thought was going to be the shutting down of Chet TV and Peace FM. So I think anything that we can do to support and move forward is exactly what we should do. So thank you for your work.
Yeah, we were looking for some information. There's none, I believe, in this new, this old bylaw from the PRD for radio. So that's some of the stuff that happens. That it was outdated. That's what they're telling us. It's outdated, but they could change it on their end. I believe it's a good. Councillor Hunt?
Sorry, I'll add to that.
Yeah.
They actually can't without a referendum that
Mhm.
everybody votes to change the setup of, or the funding. They can't change anything. So all they're really fighting about is their own bylaw conflict and trying to put it on us. So if we just send it back to them, ask them to correct it, until they hold a referendum, they can't change anything. And that keeps us running.
Yes, and I believe it is in the province's hands too. So there's three of us. The society, PRRD, and Chetwynd and the province, so actually four. But there's three main ones. So we'll send it to Peace River Regional and see what we get. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, good. Carried. Correspondence, email from Morris and Lillian Damons, dated October 8th, 2024. Visit to Chetwynd. Who would like this one?
I'll motion to receive C1 and C2.
Second.
For discussion, or can I read that?
Sure you can.
Okay. I will read the C1. Greetings from Calgary, Alberta. We recently visited the community of Chetwynd with the purpose of visiting our brother, Roger Demon's grave, as well as to tour your community. It was a very pleasant surprise to see the cemetery immaculately cared for. We how does that word? Reacquainted with friends and gave us a phenomenal tour. The wood carvings are amazing. Attached is a cemetery sign from my hometown of Larange, Saskatchewan, that may interest one of your wood carvers. Thank you once again, Shawana Patterson, for providing us with a map highlighting the grave, as well as a headstone. Oh, photo of the headstone. Much appreciated. Morris and Lillian. So there's some of the stuff. This letter I would like to send out to the staff, right? This is some of the stuff that the staff do as part of their duties, which when people visit, not too many people, they'll visit carvings, but when somebody comes to visit outside of that tourist stuff, it's very important that our staff know about it. So we will pass this on to the staff. And it probably might have already been passed on, but let's do that.
I believe we're gonna put it into our staff newsletter as well, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. And C2, so we'll accept C1 and C2 for information. We had a second, right?
Second.
Yeah, all those in favor? Yeah, carried. Thank you. Anything to be pulled from information items? 1 through 22.
Motion to receive I-1 to I-22.
Second.
All those in favor? Carried. Reports for action. RA1. 2025 Business Facade Improvement Program grants.
I'll motion that council approve the application to Northern Development Initiative Trust for the facade improvement program for 2025.
Second.
Any discussion on it?
Sure, I can add something.
Yes.
So all the communities within our region receive this 20,000, no matter the size. And it seems like Chetwynd's been really successful every year. I know that we have, they have given out the grants, the 4 grants in Chetwynd already this year. And I just think it's really quite a brilliant program to kind of give a facelift to the business community. Thank you.
Any more? All those in favor? Carried. RA2, BC Active Transportation Grant Funding Application.
I'll make the motion that council authorize staff to submit a shovel-ready application for BC Active Transportation Grant funding to construct a sidewalk extension along 46th Street Northeast and 47th Avenue Northeast, and that council support the project and commit to its financial share of the project.
Second.
Any discussion on it?
Question.
Go ahead, Councillor Hahn.
What are they asking when they support and commit to the financial share of the project? Is that something where you put in the budget or? It's here.
Yeah, it's in the report.
Yes, this would be included as part of the 2025 budget process. And basically what it's saying is that through this grant, the district, we would receive 70% or $420,000 towards the project, and the district's share of it would be $180,000. So the grant funding pays for 70% of the project.
I wasn't sure if it was a whole.
Any more on all those in favor? Carried. Reports for information, RI1. August accounts payable checklist.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Any discussion? Councillor Ward?
Thank you. Just have to, I had some questions. I'm not sure if it was August or September. Let me just have a quick look
Okay.
here. Sorry, yes, it was September that I'm gonna ask about. So if anybody has any questions about August, I can wait until the moment.
I don't see any hands up, so go ahead and look for your question.
You have to receive September.
Okay. Okay, motion to receive September, I mean August.
No, we already received August, we're
Okay.
pushing for September.
You voted yet?
We haven't voted.
Yeah, August, yeah.
Before we proceed.
All those in favor? Okay. Okay, then we'll continue. Okay, information number 2, and we're into September.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Any questions? Councillor Work?
I have a few questions. So on September 23rd, check to Flight Oil Field, what would the district pay them for?
We'll defer over to Crystal Hilton then.
I know what that one is. It's a return of a deposit for a temporary use permit because they're no longer temporary use. Thank you.
You looking at one more, Councillor Work? Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Sorry for the delay. Chi-Chi's Land Stewards, I saw 2. Just curious what those are.
They would be related to the Fire Smart program.
And what number is that? And what date?
In what capacity?
They're the ones that were doing the prescriptive tree removal down at behind Crown subdivision. And they did a little bit more in Legion as well.
Thank you.
So what date was that again, Councillor Work?
I think that was,
1 September 13.
thank you.
Okay. Any-
I also saw a couple checks to Amazon, and I'm assuming that whatever's being purchased there can't be purchased locally.
Yes, it's usually anything we purchase from Amazon are things that we can't get locally or that are represent enough savings that we need to do that to be financially responsible. As you know, Mayor and Council have authorized, like we really focus on purchasing local. We can actually pay more than by 10% as approved by council for items if we do shop locally. But we still have a responsibility to try to find the best prices. So Amazon's not something we use a lot, but it's usually, it's usually things like birthday party stuff and special event stuff and that kind of thing.
Thank you. If I come across the others that I can't seem to locate now, I'll save them for next meeting. Thank you.
Councillor Nelson?
I was honestly quite curious about that flight camp as well. So interesting to know that they are no
Date?
longer in operation. This is what Councillor Wood brought up. I'm just
13, yes.
They are still in operation. It was when council changed the zoning, so they're no longer under temporary use. That was just a temporary use deposit. So you'll see a few on there. The deposits well and cleaned out in the last month, and all those have been returned. So anything that was no longer active. So it's just deposit releases.
Oh, very interesting. Is that what the Sararis Murphy joint venture is as well? Yeah, because it just kind of looked much different than the usual expenditures. Thanks, Crystal.
Any others? More? Okay, all those in favor? Carry. Okay, we shall move on to new business. Councillor Warwick?
Yeah, I just want to follow up for some local residents as to the plan for those lights that continually are not.
Your worship, could I get you to just flip your mic up so we can record? Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit lengthy, but I'll keep it as short as I can. As council knows, they approved the purchase of new lights. It's been a bit of a time-consuming process because we applied for grant funding so that again, the taxpayers wouldn't be on the hook for the cost of the new lights. The new lights are considerably more vandal resistant. They go into a concrete base and they bolt into it. Unfortunately, they were delayed at the manufacturer. They're hoping they'll be in soon, but we're now ending the window of where we can pour quality concrete. So we're working with the contractor. If it comes in relatively quickly, we can get them out fairly quickly as well. I know there's been a lot of concerns about things like, why aren't we using cameras? We tried a camera on a post and it got vandalized. We tried a camera inside a window of a local residence and it wasn't close enough to get a high resolution picture. I'm waiting for a reply back from Alexander Security about cameras we can mount inside the lights and do that. These lights they're all over. I mean, I've seen them in Fort St. John. This is the first community that I've ever seen where they've been vandalized to this extent. Unfortunately, everything leads towards it being probably minors that don't understand the ramifications to the taxpayers of what they're doing. And we've had some conversations with parents. We've caught some of the younger people doing it that were imitating some of the older kids. And we've had conversations with them and with parents. We know that during the winter time, it'll slump off. They seem to lose interest in kicking them over. And it is, it's intensely frustrating for everybody. It's, we're trying to have nice things in the community. I know that there've been some comments about why don't we just cap them off? We could. The problem with that is once you provide lighting on something like a walkway, if you don't make every effort to keep the lighting up to that standard, then you assume some liability. So now we're going into the winter months with ice and more dark. If that walkway is dark and somebody slips and falls, the district could conceivably be held liable for that personal injury. So we're doing absolutely everything we can. As frustrating as it is for everybody, I can just about guarantee that it's more frustrating for the people that are putting the lights up on weekends and stat holidays. We're all really unhappy that this is going on. We're really unhappy that somebody's deciding to do this in our community.
Okay, Councillor Warwick? Okay.
Are you working with the RCMP on all this?
Yes, the RCMP has been involved all the way through it. The RCMP have talked to, I believe, 3 or 4 sets of parents at this point. They continue to patrol more. Once we get the COPS program up and running, which we're really on the cusp of doing, we're going to ask them to help keep an eye on those lights as well. I mean, it's a matter of time. We will find a camera that works. We will find the people that are doing the majority of the damage, and we will take it very seriously when we do find them.
Thank you.
Councillor Nelson?
So my real question is, cameras are all well and good, and speaking to parents is fine, but who is financially responsible for this if these youth are who apparently is doing this damage? What is the actual next step beyond us just continually having to pick up the pieces and clean it up?
Well, it requires catching people, and then it requires laying charges under the criminal code. If the people that are doing it are minors, which again it tends to be, then there's not going to be a lot of recourse. But we have discussed it with our lawyers, and we're waiting to hear back too from them to see what we can do. But until we actually catch anybody with some really compelling evidence, then the lawyers really can't give us much of an opinion. but we are exploring that option as well. Ideally, it would go back on parents in an ideal world. Whether that will happen, it will be up to the lawyers to provide direction for us.
Okay. And in terms of the repair process, just to kind of write the current, because it sounds like we're not going to be getting the new products in this winter. So in order to write the current lights, what does that look like? What kind of process is it? Are we adding bolts, or is there a new solution beyond just kind of putting them back as to what we've been doing already?
No, there really isn't. The construction of the lights is such that they're designed to handle weather, they're designed to handle accidental impact, and they do a really good job of that. Again, I know communities that have had, I've talked to communities that have had them for 10 or 15 years, never lost one. But they will not withstand having, something weighing 100 pounds constructively trying to destroy them. And I guess the caution I would have for mayor and council and the community in general is the new ones that we have, if people decide to hook a quad to them, for instance, and pull them over, they will. I mean, nothing is vandal proof anymore. These are everything that we're buying now is vandal resistant. But the ones that we have in place, we looked at different ways to beef them up. When they ran the wiring for them originally at the start of the project, they only support a certain type of fixture. They're kind of they're a lower voltage lighting. So we can't put a traditional lamppost in there without taking out all the existing wiring and infrastructure, which again would be lots more money. So we're hoping the concrete bases and the steel bolts will do it. But we were all, quite frankly, shocked at the level of commitment that these vandals have towards destroying these lights.
Any other questions for staff? We're good? Okay. Council work, yeah. Okay, on to the second business, new business, Larry Neufeld, MLA South Peace elect. Was just wondered if we, as a council, need to hear from our MLA sooner. I think would be nice if we can give his office a call and maybe he could come as a delegate, or delegate seems fine because the public needs to hear of our new MLA. So maybe scheduled 4th or the next meeting, whenever he might be available, if that's okay. Go ahead, Steph.
As you know, we're still in intergendum where they're not allowed to do a lot of things yet. And I'm sure that everybody that's elected will be buried. But what I would absolutely love to do is contact him tomorrow and ask for him to come at his earliest possible convenience, if that suits you.
Yeah, that would suit me. Council? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Do you want us to give you direction on that, or is just from your office to his office?
I think I can contact his staff and I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Okay, no new other business, public questions on what we had discussed here in our agenda. Go ahead. Yes, just,
So I
yep.
can be heard on our system.
No,
Oh, I mean, I'll
Thank
speak
you.
loudly, but this one will be for the cameras.
Yep.
Just so that people can hear.
State your name and your resident of Chetwynd.
Yes, I'll hold it. So Marlon Villar Gomez, and I work for the Chetwynd Communication Society, and the address is 4612 North Access Road. I just wanted to say a few words. I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for all the time that I spent working with you. I think as some of you heard, I accepted a new position. It'll still keep me in the peace, but I'll no longer be working for Chetwynd Communication Society. But it's meant a lot to be here for me. Yeah. Sorry. I need a moment because the things that I've learned here are special. And this is where I started my family. And this is where God had plans for me to be here and just learn a lot from many wonderful people that I met, many of you who I've worked with, and many people that sat here over the years. And I know that forever this place will be very special for me and for my family. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Chetwynd, and good luck in your endeavors, and thank you. All right, adjournment.
There's another question.
No questions. We're good? Public, radio, television, opportunity. Okay, thank you. Adjournment.
Solid.
Remember me, when the sun comes up in the morning sky, there I will be, soaring with the eagle so high, feeling free. Remember me, down the road, hand in hand, you and me. Hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. Hey-lo, hey, hey, hey-oh, 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 hey.
Let's start off with, I guess, the vision that you guys saw by the time you were in council 7 years ago with this building. What was the vision of this building back then?
So back then, the vision was based on the elders and people in community who fantasized about having a building where we could all gather, a big enough space to accommodate everyone and more people, so that we could house bigger events and bring more people together, because the current gym that we have is too small, and because we're growing in population, we needed to expand.
What was it like when you guys decided that, you know, you were going to go ahead and do it? Like, was there excitement? Were people nervous? What was that journey like?
So when the organization came together to talk about the idea becoming a reality, there was a lot of unknowns. Where is the money going to come from? How are we going to fund it? So before the excitement, there was worry and stress, and there was a lot of unanswered questions to make the idea a little uneasy. But over time, the questions started to get answers, and then the funding came, and then that's when the excitement came, because now we have a way to navigate to the project.
What would you say was one of the more challenging aspects of building this, making this project a reality?
So the biggest challenge of all, of course, is the budget, because you can plan so much, but then there's always something thrown into the mix where it was unexpected. So then you have to accommodate, you know, the budget and figure out, how do you navigate this cost that we didn't foresee? And so it really did come down to how to manage the money, and we had a good enough contingency that all the outside things that we didn't expect and plan for, it worked out in the end. It all just fell into place and things happened, and we're grateful for that.
Can you give us do you know numbers by any chance, just roughly like total cost of project, and how long did it take to build?
So the build took 3 years, 2-3 years. And the funding came from 3 different pots. So in total, around 27 million. Can't give an exact number right off the top of my head, but we had enormous help from the federal and provincial governments, and then the nation kicked in some of our dollars to make it all work out.
And when you look at the building here today, what does the building make you feel when you look at it?
Connection. It's all about connection. It makes me feel so happy that we have a place to connect, because that's what this building is all about, is so we can bring people in, we can share, we can eat food together, discuss different things, and connect. You know, same with Pemmican Days, that's a place to share, to eat together, to have fun, but to connect. And I think this space is going to provide that on so many different levels.
Do you have any special areas of the building that are maybe in your heart a bit of your favorite, or anything that sticks out to you?
I do have a favorite room. It's the music room, because you can make magic in a music room. We have a lot of musicians in community, and I think that's a great space to encourage and develop the talent. And so if people want to record, that's an option. They can do that, because that's what the music room does. And you know, I think that's a wonderful element to have in the building, is to be able to have a music program, teach people how to write a song. We have a stage now where they could perform. Like, I think that kind of entertainment is really uplifting, and that adds a whole element of fun. So I think that's my favorite.
And then anything else that you would like to add, or maybe we missed in our conversation?
Anything to add?
Yeah, anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just looking forward to the future, and I'm so excited that all the teams got together to make this happen.
and I'm so thrilled, the turnout that we had today. And I'm just really grateful and full of like happy emotions, because today is the day that we were waiting for years. Like when the idea came around 7 years ago and started discussing how are we gonna do this, back then it was a dream and now it's reality. So I'm thrilled. It's exciting.